my lips. And I beat another dead horse, I beat the drum. Yeah, I stayed with you too long, spin another record, but I sing along to your silly little song. Yeah, I beat another dead horse, I beat the drum. Yeah, I stayed with you too long, spin another record, and I sing along to your silly little song. Yeah, 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 yeah. When I said goodbye, I hope you cried. When I said goodbye, I hope you cried. Hey, thanks for checking out this guitar lesson for Dead Horse by Hayley Williams. If anyone doesn't know, Hayley Williams is doing a new contest for this song where you post a cover, and if you win, you get a bunch of money for Amazon, and you get to meet Hayley on a video chat. So yeah, really cool. Anyone looking to learn the song on guitar, I did come up with an easy way to play it that's also pretty authentic to the original version. Alright, to start off, regular tuning, no capo, just a couple chords you have to learn. The first chord is A minor, and you play that with middle finger on the 2nd fret of D, ring on the 2nd of G, and index on the 1st of B. The next chord is D, and you play that with index finger on the 2nd fret of G, ring on the 3rd fret of B, and middle on the 2nd fret of high E. The next chord is C, and you play that with ring finger on the 3rd fret of A, middle finger on the 2nd fret of D, and index on the 1st fret of B. And the next chord you need to learn is B minor. And this one's a little tricky. You play that with index finger on the 2nd fret of A, ring on the 4th fret of D, pinky on the 4th of G, and middle finger on the 3rd fret of B. And I try not to play the high E string here because it kind of messes with the chord a little bit, so just rest on it. And then the last chord you need to know for the song is G. It's kind of a quick chord during the riff and the bridge. And you play that with middle finger on the 3rd fret of low E, index finger on the 2nd fret of A, ring finger on the 3rd fret of B, and pinky on the 3rd of high E. But like I said, this is kind of a quick chord, so you're really just playing the low strings, like that. Alright, so we got all the chords. Now there is a strumming pattern. There's one strumming pattern that has a slight variation when you play it in the verse and in the riff and bridge part, but it applies to the whole song. And you break the measure into 16th notes, which means you just say 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and That way you can pick out the specific parts you have to strum. You start with a downstroke on 1, and then an upstroke on the before 2, which means 1 E and It's kind of like a jump right before the 2. And then you do the same thing on 3 and then the before 4. So it goes 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So you can really play that strumming pattern for the whole song and it will be accurate. There's just some slight differences with the verse and riff. So let's start with the verse. For the verse, what I'm doing here is I'm playing a single string for the downstroke, and it's different from the chord. The bass kind of goes on this groove, which you could just do if you want. But to play it with the chords, the way I do it is I take my pinky and I press it on the 3rd fret of low E, and then on the upstroke, I'm just playing the A minor chord. You'll see I'll notate it with like a little parentheses, meaning it's optional, and it's small, so it's just a little like that. And then for the D chord, it's the same thing. Now you've moved your pinky to the 3rd fret of A, so. And it's a little tricky to switch from the A minor to the D. So you really, once you do that final upstroke and you're moving on to D, I lift all my fingers off and then really quick put it back on again. So now I'm playing the A minor part, and now it's coming up to the end. I took all my fingers off, reassembled it to D in time to put my pinky on the 3rd fret of A. So it's kind of a quick move there to make sure you can play everything like that. So yeah, that's specific for the verse, and now let's get to the bridge. So the bridge starts the same way as everything else. You still have the down, up on the 1 and the So you go through a whole measure, and now for the second measure, instead of doing one more on the 3 and the you're gonna go 3 and 4. That's where the G chord comes in. So it goes 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4. Alright, so we know the chords and we know the strumming pattern. Now let's just run through the song. Every morning I wake up from a dream of you holding me underwater. Held my breath for a decade and dyed my hair blue to match my lips. And I beat another dead horse, I beat the drum. Yeah, I stayed with you too long, spin another record, but I sing along to your silly little song. Yeah, I beat another dead horse, I beat the drum. Yeah, I stayed with you too long, spin another record, and I sing along to your silly little song. Yeah, 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 yeah. When I said goodbye, I hope you cried. When I said goodbye, I hope you cried. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any more questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I'd love to hear all the covers you guys make. I know you're submitting them for Hayley, but you learned from me, so I'd like to hear them too. And make sure to subscribe while you're here so you catch all the lessons to come. Alright, thanks guys.